So last year, my wife decided she wanted to start running again. She hadn't run consistently since college, but with 40 approaching, she figured it's now or never. And so she trained for a month and ran a 10K and felt really great about it. And so she signed up for a 25K, which is 15 and a half miles. Then, a few months later, after finishing the 25K, she ran a marathon, 26.2 miles. Of course, I was in awe of her. She had clearly grown stronger and more capable runner. Now imagine I had to grade her running ability based on both her 10K and her marathon. In school, we'd average those two performances. Let's say I gave her an A for her marathon time and a C for her 10K when she was a brand new runner. Together, that would mean she's a B runner. But that doesn't make sense. The marathon, her ability to run 26.2 miles, is where she ended up. It's what she's now capable of. But this is exactly what we do with students. A kid who gets a C on a writing assignment at the beginning of a unit, and then works hard, and then earns an A on a similar task at the end of the unit, we usually average those grades and call it a B. That's not accurate. It's not fair. And it sends the wrong message. Averaging grades punishes growth. It misrepresents what a student actually knows. It makes assessments about judgment and not learning. And it creates inequity for kids who need more time to master something. An alternative to this is competency-based grading. In this model, students are assessed on what they can do, not when they learned it. Final grades reflect their most recent or strongest demonstration of mastery. Instead of grading everything a student does and then averaging it, we identify key skills, called competencies, and assess whether a student has mastered each one. The final grade is based on their most recent or strongest evidence of learning. So if a student is working on argumentative writing and their early attempts are rough, but by the end they've got it down, that final grade reflects what they now know, not where they started. And this means we have to allow students the opportunity to revise their work or retake assessments. Now, when I say allow them to revise or retake assessments, you might be like, wait a minute, I can't give students retakes because they'll just slack off and retake it later. Yeah, I hear you. This is the bane of every teacher who wants to allow students to improve their work. We've all seen it. But what if you require students to complete extra practice or corrections or conferencing, something that they have to do before they reassess? If a student wants to retake, I need to know what they did, that they did some learning before they took that retake. I need to know that they put in some effort to improve. Otherwise, we're just going to see the same result that we saw the first time. So here's how it can look. Let's say Thomas scores a 65% on an argumentative essay. He's frustrated and asks if he can redo it and try to get his grade up. His teacher says yes, but first he needs to revise 2-body paragraph based on her comments. And he also has to fill out a revision planning sheet outlining what he's going to change and why. And then he needs to review a mini lesson on finding and using evidence effectively. And then after completing all of those steps, Thomas can submit a new draft. And this time, let's say he earns an 88%. Yeah, he got better because we gave him an opportunity to get better. He's not just looking at the grade at the top of the essay and the marks that you left him and throwing it in the garbage. He's looking at the grade, but then seeing the marks left for him on the essay and saying, oh, I can do this to improve my work and then get my grade up. By requiring effort and reflection before the retake, the teacher ensures that the new grade reflects growth, not just a second chance. If a student chooses not to give their best effort the first time, they're ultimately adding more work to their plate. And if a student did give their best effort the first time, but they didn't get the grade that they want or that they're capable of, they now have an opportunity, a pathway to work towards it. This approach doesn't lower expectations. It actually makes grades more accurate. It tells the truth about what a student can do. And that means if a student shows up, puts in the work, and learns from feedback and improves, their grade honors that growth. Just like we'd celebrate someone who trained and finished a marathon. This doesn't mean we need to ditch the A through F grading system or totally change how we teach. This type of grading can happen in a traditional school system or classroom, but it helps to start small. Try this just for one unit and see how it goes. Set clear boundaries for retakes, like requiring extra practice first, and most importantly, make feedback central to your assessment process. Grading this way isn't lowering expectations. It's about giving students the space and support to get where they're capable of going. because at the end of the day, the purpose of school is to help our students grow.